welcome to our guided tour of the DCLG intranet. It's been up and running since February, so hopefully you're well used to using it now and know your way around, but we thought a little bit of a guided tour might help you make the most of all the features of the new site. So here we are on the home page. This is your main landing page, and this should be the one that opens up every morning when you log on to your computer. Down the left hand side, this is our news feed, and this is where all our kind of daily news and features go. Okay, we always have a main story up at the top, and then the other stories feed through, and they're ordered by date, by publication date. We tend to have up to about 5 stories in that column at a time, but if you click through on the news tab, you'll find plenty more stories as well, and you can feed on through, find plenty more. There we are. Okay, back to the home page. And here you'll find our updates section. Now usually this section is up at the top of this column, but because we've got a couple of special activities going on at the moment, we've separated some of the information about them up into these 2 sections. But normally this updates section is where you'll find more operational information. So this was where traditionally we might have service updates or the system's going down or changes to the telephone service, that sort of thing. So the stuff you need to know to do your job, as opposed to news or strategic information. So likewise, the updates are here. You have about 5 of the main stories, and then you can click through and you'll find plenty more. And these are tagged by certain categories. So if you want to find updates that particularly relate to legal matters, for example, just click on that and you'll find them there. Okay, back to the home page again, and here underneath the updates is the events calendar, which I think you're probably all familiar with, just a bit bolder these days, a bit brighter, and hopefully makes it a bit easier to find the events that you're looking for and get those reminders that you need. Again, for more information, just click on through and you'll get through to the full calendar of events. It works in very similar way to the old one, that bit. Okay, and back again to our home page. And what else can we find? Now on the right hand side, this has proved to be probably one of the most popular elements of the new intranet, judging from the number of people who have started blogging, which is absolutely fantastic, because it's really great to hear from people around the business talking about their lives and their interests and a whole range of topics. So again, we've had a lot of blogs in the last couple of weeks, because we've had a lot of people supporting Digital Fortnight. So we've probably shown a few more than we normally would, but again, you can to click on through to get the whole range. And again, we do tend to tag these blogs as well. So if you're particularly interested in a certain topic, like the health and well-being blogs, this is where you will find them. Go through. And again, it's just really great to see so many people blogging. Right, back to the home page again. And if you ever do want to post a blog, there are a couple of ways you can do it, but the simplest is probably just write an email to the internal communications inbox. At the moment, we're publishing blogs for you on your behalf, just so we can control timing and that sort of thing. But all blogs are welcome, and what's great about the new site is that they are not organised by topic. They're just really based on the person who's written them, so it makes it easier to search, and it gives you so much more freedom to write about a whole range of topics. Now up on the top right hand column here, we have our introvert. We call them introverts, you can call them an advert really, or a banner, and this is where we just promote current activity. It is literally an advert, if you like, so you can click on the banner and it'll take you through to something that's current and topical at the moment, but the news story about it may well have dropped off of the front page. So that's the way to get through to that. Once you've clicked on it once, it will disappear. So you won't be pestered with it every time that you look at the page. But we do update them daily. So you should see a good mix of campaigns and activities being promoted through those. So what else have we got on the home page? So here we go. We've got the traditional Twitter feed down here on the bottom. Bottom left, we have the feed through from our external DCLG news, as found, you'd find on the government site. And in the middle, very popular part of the intranet, judging on the number of hits, and that's where you can find vacancies if you're looking for new opportunities. Down at the bottom, we have our famous feedback link, which we'd love more people to use, and that just gives you an opportunity to send us some feedback about anything you've seen. Maybe there's something that's wrong or missing on the site. Maybe you want to say how much you love it. Whichever of these, just click on that feedback form. There's one at the bottom of every single page, and that's your opportunity to get in touch with us. We've got a couple of links to other sites. Perhaps there are some other sites that you'd like us to add links to on here. If there are, just let us know. And down here are some of the recent forum topics. So again, the forums are your opportunity really to informally share information, start conversations, and kind of get together as groups online. Okay, so that's really the homepage covered. Just to talk through the other couple of sections that are up here. Top left, the About DCLG. Whereas the homepage is probably changing on a daily basis, this is the sort of information that really won't be changing very much, we hope. Although, of course, based on the current situation with the election, etc., who knows? But this is the sort of the basics of DCLG: who we are, what we do, how we're organised, how we work, and where we work. So this is where you might find some of that information. Just the basic, information about all the different sites. A new edition, how we're organised, which gives you a bit of an idea about what the different directorates do and the different divisions do. So hopefully you find that quite useful. And let's just go back again. How we work, this is talking about our DCLG vision and the relationship to the brilliant civil service as well. So this is kind of core information that you may not need every day, but it's quite useful to come back to every now and again, we hope. This tag on the right, that's where if you just want to just kind of streamline down the content and look up either news, just as a news feed, as we saw earlier, or blogs as a news feed. It's just another useful way of looking them up, and again more adverts for various activities. Now the How Do I section, this is the really tactical element of the site. If you use the intranet beyond news, but to actually find out information about getting things done, sorting out your computer, HR stuff, performance management stuff, that sort of thing, this is where you'll find it. And the biggest change between the old intranet and the new site is the fact that this is heavily search based. So forget about thinking, what department or what team look after this and that. I've got to go to HR, and from HR then I'll find out what I need to do about performance. If you've got a question about performance, then type in performance. Go up to the search bar, type in performance, and there you will get the associated information, just as you would in real life. If you're using Google to look for something, you would just use keywords and type in keywords and find what you're looking for. So that's the way it works basically. This is very useful because, as you can see, 169 results around performance. It's quite a popular topic. So if you know that what you want is a news story that you read, that you've seen but you missed, and you want to see if you can find it again, you might filter your search by clicking on news, refine search, and then you'll just get the stories up that were actually news stories as opposed to the guidance. If on the other hand you would rather look at the guidance, the kind of how-to bits, how do I fill in a form, how do I have a successful kind of performance conversation, then you would look at the click on the guidance, and there it is. Okay. Now another way of, my personal inclination is always to just, if I'm looking for something, to type into this main search bar up here. But you can filter your search a bit by going into the how do I section if you're concerned that you're going to be a bit overwhelmed with tons of results. So we have these main categories over here that are pretty self-explanatory really, but you can refine your search a little by going into here. So for example, if you know that your query is definitely to do with legal, it's something to do with you're creating a policy and you need some legal guidance or something, click on legal and you'll be able to find all the guides to do with legal in here. And you can even break them down or refine the search even more by clicking on contact, for example, and that will bring up the stories. Right, there we are, who are the people I need to contact? So that's the how do I section. Then probably one of the most popular, and we hope will become one of the most used elements of the intranet, is the people finder. So on the people finder, it is a directory of everybody in DCLG. As you can see, it's alphabetical. As you can see, it's still looking a little grey, and you'd have to have had your head in the sand not to have noticed our ongoing campaign to get people to come in and update their profiles, upload a picture and add a bit of personal information about themselves into their profile, just to make it a really, really useful tool. Now, if you're looking for somebody, there are a number of ways you can do it. You can either do it the traditional way and type their name up into here. So I will type in, there we are, that's actually me, and there you can find a picture. I've been very good. I've updated my profile and I've added some bits and bobs about what I do, a bit more specifically the things I'm interested in, and the fact that I'm an internal comms champion. You can see that I work full-time, who my boss is, and the team that I work in. You can also see any blog posts that I've done a couple. Let's go back. Yeah, and then the usual grade and everything else. Now, if it's you and you'd like to edit your profile, this is how you do it. You would click on the edit profile element of your profile. You'd get to your profile by clicking here on my profile. Right. Just a word on these. If you're updating your profile for the first time, you do need to. It's great to go in and just check that all the information that is pre-populated in there is correct. And if it isn't, you won't be able to edit that. You'll need to get in touch with HR Shared Services and get them to edit it for you. Okay. And just finally, a little bit on the forums. I mentioned them earlier. This is something we haven't promoted very much yet. We've been getting to grips with all the other elements of the site, but this would be if you had something that you wanted to sell or something you wanted to announce. There's a great kind of staff notice board element. You might want to promote an event, a network event or something like that. Start a discussion even. But that's the facility there. But as I say, we haven't really done too much around that yet. So watch this space. I think we'll probably be doing a bit more on that going forward. So there you go. That's a whistle-stop tour of our new intranet. I hope you find it useful and I hope you're enjoying the new site.